I was thinking, what is a film that's really great? An action film. Let's say, what's a really great action film that we all love and is kind of just nails every element of it being what it's supposed to be.
Yep.
But then they went and made a sequel that was almost exactly the same film, but awful in every way.
I think I know where you're going.
Speed 2, Cruise Control.
Yeah. Give it to me.
Annie Porter, played by Sandra Bullock, is back. But this time, her new boyfriend, Alex Shaw, played by Jason Patric, and his impressive jaw muscles, swaps out the high-speed bus for a leisurely cruise in the Caribbean. Or so they thought. Their relaxing trip hits rough waters when a grumpy hacker, Geiger, played by Willem Dafoe, commandeers the ship and rigs it for destruction. Armed with leeches, for some reason, high-tech things that do stuff to the systems of the boat, and a dubious revenge plot, Geiger threatens everyone on board with a slow-motion disaster. The boat is headed for an island, and for some reason the cruise control won't let them take over, and it's going to crash sometime in the future. What follows is a bloated attempt to recapture the adrenaline of the original Speed. The ship moves slower than the plot, and the tension barely keeps pace, with awkward dialogue, unconvincing stakes, and an absence of Keanu Reeves. Speed 2 crashes hard, becoming a legendary flop. Still, it's maybe worth a watch for anyone curious to see how not to make a sequel to a classic action film, to see Sandra Bullock try her hardest to charm the film to success, and to get a sense of where Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin evolved from.
A slow-moving disaster, you said.
That's right.
We could probably stop there.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything else to say.
I think there's a lot to say.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is so fun to watch.
It is, yeah. It's actually kind of entertaining still. You know, like it's crap, but it's good. It's one of those.
No, it's not good. It is just crap, but it's still fun to watch.
Sure.
Because with some films, at some point, you really think, no, there's no saving this, and then you're watching for the next ridiculous thing. You're just waiting for something silly to happen.
Yeah.
Such as when the ship is cruising and it's going to hit the island.
Yeah.
And it's slowing down, but it's still moving, and there's people in front of the ship, like in little boats and stuff, that one by one, they realise just at the last second that the ship is going to get to them, and you see people just throwing up their groceries with baguettes flying in the air, people caught in the middle of lovemaking. It's just ridiculous.
It's a little bit like that scene from Austin Powers where the guy, the henchman, is about to get steamrolled by the steamroller, but it's obviously going at like 5 kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
And he just stands there and screams until eventually it gets to him and rolls him over. It's a bit like that.
No, it's exactly like that. And then I know we're starting with the end, which is probably not what you should do. It's my fault.
That's fine.
And then after all that, this sequence goes for minutes.
Yeah.
Minutes and minutes and minutes. And then you see where the ship is, and it's only just inched into the island.
Yeah.
So it should be like 3 kilometers inland.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, we've started at the end. What would you like to say about Speed 2?
Only that the first Speed is such a great film. I watched it again recently.
So did I.
And it is so much fun.
Yeah.
And Keanu Reeves is great in it. Just a good action star. He's sort of deadpan in some ways, but kind of has just the right amount of charm at the same time, and believability as a guy who can do the things that he's doing. And I don't think it's Jason Patric's fault, but he's just I don't know, he just doesn't really bring the magic to this at all. And it feels like Sandra Bullock's trying, and he just doesn't have the required chemistry to make it work.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. But again, not entirely his fault.
No.
Like, congratulations on picking a film that has a worse script than Gladiator
Oh
2.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like this is really bad, but it's a great lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Like I found it was instructing me on how to write by telling me how not to write.
Yeah.
Like the flatness of the dialogue
Yeah.
was, it actually hit you in the face. Like they would have, a lot of it was along the lines of move the ship away, or hold this thing,
Sure.
or we need to turn off the propeller, or
Yep.
just completely functional, no depth
Yep.
to it whatsoever. And what can you do? What can you do with that?
One of my favorite things was right at the start. Can't remember how far in it. It's not very far. Willem Dafoe's character sort of gets discovered that he just, I think he allows himself to be discovered with the captain of the ship just before he kills him.
Yeah.
And he basically says, "Who am I? I'm the guy,
Green Goblin."
Yeah, exactly. I'm the Green Goblin who used to work on ships and just got thrown away." I'm like, oh wow, okay, just laying it out there.
Yeah.
Which in the first film is the story as well. Essentially,
Yeah.
like the guy's retired and
Yeah,
you know he didn't get what he wanted out of his career, and but you find that out right at the end, and he kind of earns that speech.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Defoe, it's not just that one moment.
Yeah.
Like, basically, any time he gets to speak,
Yeah.
it's exposition. Like, it's
Sure.
explaining something of his motivation. You know, while he's, pushing someone into the water, he's saying, "I'm pushing you into the water, because of X, Y, Z. Sure. This is why I'm doing it.
This
just
really
in
helps
case
my plan because of this."
Yes, because now you won't be able to do this, and I'm gonna, but it's not as if the the first speed, is a masterpiece.
No.
Like, it just knows its genre and does what it's trying to do perfectly.
Yeah, I think that the script for the first speed's dialogue's probably not amazing, but it's just it's handled really well. There's a director that knows how to make an action film there, and everybody's playing their part really well, and it works.